Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm here at Wearable Technologies, and I'm here with the man behind Wearable Technologies, Christian. Christian, really good event, growing year on year, great audience, very attentive, even though you managed to close the subway system down in Munich. They still got here this morning. Tell me why you think it is so successful, so vibrant here at the moment.
It's vibrant because we have a dedicated structure here. We are trying to get the whole ecosystem behind the conference, meaning we are presenting all value chains of the wearable technologies ecosystem, from the semiconductor companies to the EMS houses, which are manufacturing and laser products, the testing certification board, and at least on the end, the retailers. All are here. So I always mention that in a coffee break, you can create your business here directly at the conference. That's perhaps the reason why so many people are attending and so many high-level people are coming. I mean, we are not talking here about just marketing things. We're really talking about business development. What are the next cool projects and products coming up in the wearable technologies market?
Yeah, absolutely. I spoke to one of your speakers on the first day, came here with a brand new technology, not really productized. I've been talking to a manufacturing partner, I've been talking to a potential investor, and today I saw them talking to an industrial designer that is in the same city as them purely by coincidence. So networking opportunity is huge. But also what I'm seeing this year more than ever is some really nice use cases, some really nice applications for wearables technology, and wearables actually becoming physically attached to our bodies and connecting to our bodies, not just a watch that happens to be on a strap, which to me is a dense consumer electronics product. There are real wearables happening.
Yeah, there's much more coming, but the market also gets more mature at the moment. So we are driving this as more than 10 years already. So you can imagine that now it's very nice to see that big wave we created, and I'm a windsurfer, so I know how to ride waves at least. And I have to say this is really now a big waves comparable to Hawaii Jaws or something. So, and it's really interesting to see how many industrial players are jumping on that wave at the moment and riding it with us. It's also important that it's not just a hype. Many people thinking that these smartwatches, it's a big hype, but I have to say the smartwatch is just one part of the whole piece, and we have a big volume of opportunities in the market, and especially in the healthcare segment. We saw already since the last 10 years a constantly growth rate of 20 to 25% per year in volume, in applications, in the healthcare market already, and this will be now stimulated with the smartwatches. And so I'm looking forward what's happening in 2 months. I mentioned that already in my keynote. What will be the big earthquake if Apple is coming out with the Apple Watch? I believe it will be a stimulation for the whole market, and that will drive us further down the road or down the wave.
Couple of other interesting points. One is what I see here is a lot of small entrepreneurial businesses and a few large corporates. How do you manage to bring them together and get them to work comfortably together? Because to me that's a big challenge for the corporates as much as anybody, to connect with those entrepreneurs where you can actually walk on the booth and meet the founder of the company.
That's a game-changing thing for them. That's totally true, but never before consumer electronics were produced by smaller companies. Normally they had their 10, 20 companies which they were dealing, and that's it. Today they have to deal with hundreds to get. But on the other side, it's a disruptive situation, and they have to deal with these smaller companies because they don't know who will be the next big one of them. So and this is the reason why all are looking into this great market at the moment. But it's an obstacle for them to overcome. How to deal with a company we see here in the backside of electronics. 130,000 employees or something in that way. They have. To whom should I speak to if I'm a small entity? Or small company, and therefore they also created dedicated incubation programs and people which are responsible just to talk to the startup teams to handle that problem. Let's say it's a positive thing that so not many people wanted to build a product in that field, but and they can take that whole fulfillment, and they need to just get more entrepreneurial, whether it's hiring entrepreneurs or just learning that language. Last question: supply chain, manufacturing processes.
are starting to be challenged, and these kind of companies need to have that enabling technology. What do you think are the biggest challenges in terms of manufacturing process in the wearables market that will actually, when solved, allow it to move further forward?
I mean, the whole manufacturing of a wearable device is highly sophisticated, for sure. I mean, it's the first time in human being that you are wearing a consumer electronic device 24 hours, 7 days a week. So we have a lot of recommendations there, and we are working on catalogs which have recommendations behind what should be done regarding standardization and so on, and testing before a wearable device is sold to the consumer. I think this is very, very important, that we don't see again some recall activities like beginning of last year with a smart band of one of the of our customers, which has to recall. I mean. But there are always, if new companies coming or new products are coming on the market, there are always obstacles. But it's important that the manufacturers are aware of that. They have to do a lot of testing for that, and I believe this is the biggest obstacle to overcome the testing purpose and to build reliable products. And on the other side, also to check how could I create a product which is running longer than 1 day. I mean, this is a main issue. How to create energy efficient devices. We have this dedicated energy, we don't have more. The energy efficiency is not, though the energy power is not growing. We have in the battery area we are on the limit with lithium-ion, for example, and the problem is now how to build systems based on this limited energy with energy harvesting and other systems to overcome that problem. And there we are also focusing much. You can only overcome it with new materials, with new sensors, with new kind of haptic or interactive user interfaces. So there we have to look in, and new connectivity protocols which need not so much power. This is important. We can build today a wearable device with everything in, no problem, but it's battery time after 1 hour is off.
Wheel a battery along behind you. So, Christian, last question. I know you're not allowed to have favorites, but as a journalist, I go to an event that has consumer products, and I always come away thinking, what would I spend my own money on? One of the ones I chose at CES was Sensoria, who are actually here because I'm a runner. It interested me. What would you buy that you've seen here in the last 2 days?
That's for me really a problem, I can tell you, because I know so many products out there, and so many fascinating products, and just to name one, it's really difficult for me. I have here on my wrist, I have one which is very nice because it's a so-called, I presented yesterday in my keynote a new categorization of the smartwatch market. So we have hybrid analog smartwatches or digital smartwatches. And in the hybrid analog smartwatch market, I believe there's a big opportunity because these are normal watches with a smart interface. So meaning if the watch is empty, it's still a watch. You can still check your time. And I mean, otherwise, if you just have a pure digital watch, you can't look anymore at the time, and you have then something like a plastic garbage on your wrist. So this is something I like very much at the moment. This trend, and you can see here, you have here a display, and you can directly scroll, or even if it's a normal watch. This is something which stimulates at the moment the market and stimulates me.
And I think another area that's going to come into that is fashion, and I think we're going to see fashion colliding with the wearables industry, and we're already seeing Swarovski getting heavily involved with Misfit and partnering with different companies. Exciting stuff there. I know you have a huge amount to do, so Christian, thanks for your time. Thanks for putting on this excellent event, and I look forward to being at the next one.
Yeah,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye-bye.